What you know about Black? The forum is the format. It's MAZ and Tomcat. Who cares who came before that? You should trust me, it's official. Don't just take the flow for granted. We discuss important issues, plus promoting local talent. We three hosts that make the topics flow. Click the link and watch the show. Listen while you're driving home, but don't forget to watch the road. Folks from different walks of life. Gangsters, politicians, single mothers, or musicians. It's important that we...
What are you I don't want to hog this thing up or whatever, but I got some real questions for you because I'm really into this little thing here, man. Watch this. I don't know. I don't want to force my idea on nobody, but like I'm under the understanding that we all come from the same one person, like black, white. We all the same. Asian. We all the same one body, but we have spun into whatever, you know what I'm saying, our culture, the melanin and all that type of stuff we have on different continents now, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case is. So if we are all one and we have spun into something different, so people got different ideas and all this type of stuff, like if that's the case, like, do you honestly believe that what Farrakhan is saying? Farrakhan is basically saying that if they would just give us our piece, like our Black Wall Street, so to speak, and they would just give us our states, or maybe take about 3 or 4 states out and let us be. Do you think that would work?
So like segregation, you're thinking?
Segregation.
Okay.
Segregation.
So go back to segregation. I've heard this idea before. Go back to segregation. That's what
Farrakhan speak on. We need to get ourselves together, get our own self worked up, our all this type of get together. So, and they can figure out how important we are then, but at least be apart so we don't get stepped on. We have our own police, we have our own FBI, we have our own everything. And then boom, we come together like that instead of we being in a system.
I feel like if we do segregation again, they'll find ways to take more from us, to be quite honest. I just think of the Native Americans and for part of this with the reservations and laws they put on them and just terrible things. But in segregation, like with Black Wall Street, they were still coming into our community and just blowing the whole thing up and saying, you can't have this. You can't, like, still trying to find ways, even with being separate. So, I don't think that's the solution.
You saying fight it from within right now, and get how long will it take though? If we did segregation, and I'm not saying that I believe in it altogether, but I'm saying if we did segregation, it'll peace off the gate. It won't it won't be 20 years, it won't be 10 years, it won't be 15 years. We'd actually have peace right now instead of waiting until the stuff filtered to make everybody good.
I'm not that. I won't think it would be peace. I'll be real. I really don't. And it's some Black people that's not playing on our side, like the side of justice and wanting everything to be okay.
That is true.
It's people that is okay with white supremacy and carrying that on, that are Black. I mean, I can't agree with that because
you think it'd be too many spies in Black world and shit.
Yeah,
too many spies and Black people.
I've seen it. I've seen like that in the cause now. I don't think no.
What was that Black preacher, Mons? What was that Black preacher that got sold out by his people, Mons?
Black preacher?
Yeah, the Black preacher that got sold out by his own people.
Shoot, I can't think of the name right now.
There's a Black preacher, like Saeed was saying, like a Black spy type. It took somebody on the inside to sell this guy.
Like an informant.
Huh? Yeah, an informant.
Yeah.
They just did that. What's the name? That
you talking about the movie Judas
Black Messiah and the Judas. That was the Black Panthers though. That was they had an informant within the Black Panthers. I forget his name.
An informant in Malcolm X, an informant in Black Panthers. What you just say, Jasmine?
Yeah.
Talking about the same movie, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Still
See,
infiltrated.
I'm thinking about what, like, we have a little piece for a little while. It's just us, whatever. But if we utilize the same system of policing, then it's just going to be the same thing again, really. So that's where, you know, there are Black Republicans and Democrats, and even Democrats is way too moderate and not too far, not left enough. And you know, they might just go with the same system of policing, and then there we are again.
So yeah, so it becomes funny because now we start talking about Black on Black police and police brutality on its own culture versus the white on Black, and then is it different? Then does
But
it
it's
become
still us
different?
being policed and put in jails at the end of the day.
But
Like,
it won't be the biggest issue because it'd be Black on Black police killing the Black. But will they use the same force if they doing it to their own culture?
They would, because there's Black cops that do that now.
I do realize that there's Black police officers that do that within the white dominated police force. If we are able to organize our own method of security, our own method of enforcement, then we are doing that without the stain of white supremacy. If it's ours, not, oh, we're just gonna build a new Detroit police force. No, we're gonna have, it's not, we might not even call it police, whatever the case may be, but it's us in our own community. So when I pull over, when I see a 15-year-old child that's got a knife, the first thing in my mind is that could be my daughter. That could be my niece. That could be my sister. That could be my daughter's friend. I think that's the problem that we're seeing with the police. And when you have Black police officers that are few and far between within a white industry, a white organization, they go along to get along. And that's the problem. I'm one white cop and I've got my 4 white brothers and, oh, we're all blue. And I want to show that I'm blue, like they're blue. But if it's all of us and we're all guys and we all grew up in the same area, or even if you're from the east side, I'm from the west side, whatever the case may be, we're all from this city. We're all from this culture. Our children and our parents have things in common. Then we look at the people that we're policing as humans. Right. And that's where I kind of agree with you, Ivan. I feel like you're gonna have to burn this shit down. And I don't mean looting, I don't mean rioting. I mean, you got to cut this, it's over. You can't keep on treating something that's infected.
I'm saying it's gonna get worse.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying, it's gonna get worse before it get better.
Damn right.
It is. I think it will, but I think that we have to do it with precision and we have to do it with intention and consistency. Because otherwise, the get worse just means it's more of us dead. If the get worse is that we are moving towards something intentionally, then okay, then we just gonna have to strap up.
Right on.
I guess I'm thinking about it like, and I know I'm over, but like this is a good conversation. I want to finish the conversation. I guess I'm thinking about it like, you know, because my sister has said stuff like this, like Khadija is in her outlook in terms of activism or just in terms of Black people is a little bit different and where we should go. So I understand the thought of us just having our own, like just, you know, having a separate and starting over. But like I think about capitalism and I think about where the money is. And I think about if we all came together and got over this racism that the rich is wanting us to keep going anyway, then we could have a lot more than we currently have. So if we separate and get all our Black rich people in Michigan or whatever, like we don't even have a quarter of what they have. We don't even have 5%. Or we might not even have 1. So I think about what we could have if all of us just like said, fuck this, and just went and got our money. Like, I want that. So that's where like my mind is far, far ahead. And I feel like Martin Luther King was in the same mindset. He was in the future, but you know, living in the present. And a lot of people could not understand that. I just think that way because it's unfair. Like capitalism is extremely unfair. And when you really think about how they could take the whole Black population in America out of debt, like, and they don't, and they could still have checks and be just as wealthy, that fucks with me. Like it does.
Yeah, that breeds anger.
Yeah.
Capitalism breeds anger. Cause if you got Nikes on and I don't have them, You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't I? And especially if they're not giving me a shot at getting them. Like, I just got out of jail and I can't get me a job. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't fair. I got as much strength as him. You know, capitalism breeds that anger and hostility. Unequal economics easily make you some enemies. Would he say that? Unequal economics easily makes me some enemies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I say, I mean, every little thing I can buy. I mean, my hatred for him just grows more and more every time. I mean, like say he bought a better phone than me, and I mean, this is these are real feelings, and I'm conflicted because it's supposed to be my cousin, but he got shit. I mean, I never mind telling him I hate you. You know what I'm saying? Because he got more than me. So, yeah,
But man,
That iPhone. That's
yeah,
an iPhone Plus.
he got that flip phone shit, and it's like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about me? What about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the logic though. Like I get it in the temporary, but in the long term, it's like, no, I'm be thinking about what we could have.
Mm.
Yeah. I was just listening. We were talking about capitalism and just economics. I was just listening to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about all the racism that's entrenched within our tax code, which you wouldn't even think like that. That never even crossed my mind that the way the tax code is written, it unfairly enriches white people at the expense of Black people. That kind of fucked me up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The layers of it, like it's so like it gets me angry. Like when you just find out how deep racism runs. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And that's what, like I say, I was talking about. I mean, we all want to, hope shit get better, actually inspire change and do that stuff. But when will we ever, like, we can do what we can do, but when will we ever be in a position of power to that deep, long, old school racism run? Like, how can we get, I mean, we're not in those positions. Like, how can we affect change on those levels?
And that's what I was saying to Ali. And that's why I believe in Farrakhan. Like, I hate to say it, I'm not up here condoning Muslim. I'm not Muslim. I don't believe myself to be Baptist even. But what I'm gonna say is that right there out the gate, like Ali said, we will still be Black on Black policing ourselves, and they might go a little more aggressive. But if we was to get our own Black people, if our Black people got their own, that would empower us immediately. That would empower our culture immediately. You know what I'm saying? And allow us to interact with the other cultures. Like Ali said again, it's more than just the Black culture that's like oppressed. We ain't the first ones and the only ones going through it. We are just not. You know what I'm saying? But like they do have more. They do have more, and they can do what they can do. That's terrible. The lengths in which we talking about lynching, beheading, dismembering, all type of. If y'all heard the term, like Uncle Stan said, motherfucker, had us having sex with our own mother.
Come on.
To make bucks, to make entire.
Yeah, breed the strongest with the strong, the weakest with the
That's right. To make Black strong bucks. That's the glimpse that these Europeans have went to. And so it's like, how do we start right now? You know what I mean? And so we can see it in our era, where instead of hoping that our grandkids see it, and hoping our great grandkids see some kind of equality. We gotta
be thinking more about economics too then though. Like I see a lot of Black people who don't consider generational wealth or like think that far ahead. They don't think about ownership. That's somewhere I feel like we could do better at.
So you say we need reparations? Like
I feel that for sure.
Okay, because that would help us out, because right now there's, as far as generational wealth and stuff, like that was one thing they mentioned in the podcast, a high school dropout will amass more wealth than a college graduate, a Black college graduate. That's how do you even wrap that around?
Yeah, like, and that's
you win. You say, how can you win in that type of scenario?
I didn't think we would ever see anybody doing reparations, but like it's places in Illinois doing reparations now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
I
starting-
mean,
yeah.
I thought I'd never see that, to be honest.
I
Like
think
anywhere.
the side factor of all of this is, like we mentioned earlier, it's anger. A lot of Black people are angry because, you know, one group of people have this and I can't have this, or even if I try to do this, it won't work. And even if I'm doing right, you know, the police and people in authority can come in. I think that empowerment is the root of all this. Like how we're talking now, I can see passions rising because we know what our people been through. We know what our people are going through. We know that it's a possibility of what we may go through just by stepping out of our houses as Black people. So I think the empowerment of, yes, I'm a Black person. Yes, they did this, but I had the power to, you know, have this reservoir of strength, you know, my ancestors, or I had this power to affect change by raising my voice, or I had the power to, I don't know, write a letter or start a podcast or do this to let the police know, hey, we're not taking this anymore. So I think that the base of it is letting Black people know that, hey, we're not the victims alone anymore. We don't have to just be this, I don't know, poster boy for you beating me or killing me or me people that look like me. So if we start from there, Allie, what do you think we can go from? Like, how do you even get that message out to Black people? Like, hey, you don't have to be a white man's pinata. You don't have to be target practice. You don't have to be what they tell us that we are, right? How will we get that message across to our people?
We have to start focusing more on mental health at an early age and making that the center of the conversation, because we have a lot of trauma
Yes.
and we just don't deal with it.
Yeah, that's true too. You're right about
That's
that.
a big, yeah, we just really got to start dealing with that.
We got a lot.